there's always that point where you feel like you can't kick out. You can't just go that extra.
You said there's going to be no more color. I think there's always going to be color because look at AEW. They're doing it the hard way.
That's not even what I'm talking.
I know. I'm 10 steps beyond what you were talking about, but it was in my head.
I'm trying to get them to be louder. It's for shows.
Right.
It's your participation, basically.
It's the adrenaline in the room.
Very good.
I get it. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Listen, we don't. I want to get back to this because I think it's a really interesting topic. I know we want to hear about it, but we are going to get started here with the second half of the show. Again, I want to thank the folks here at the NCW complex for putting on this venue. Matt Amato, our producer, we want to thank you for helping putting it together. My name is Joey the Bruiser Tenebruso. We will continue on. That's right.
Joey.
It's either
Joey. Superflex.
What did I say?
Complex.
The complex superplex, the superplex of NCW superplex, it's all out. Remember, it's a wrestling move, folks. It's a superplex, so that's right. So what I want to point out to you, though, and thank you again for Nickel City Wrestling for doing this. We give a nice round of applause for all the folks here, because this is a venue here that is unlike.
10 o'clock, you pretty boy, put on your makeup. It's time to leave. It's time to get ready to rock.
I don't know what this is. Oh! Vicky Chippendale! Oh. How could you wait a minute?
I'll take this, actually. Why are you here? Why are you here?
Wait a minute.
You know, Daddy, I find it kind of disrespectful that you're out here having a podcast called Past, Present, Future.
That's right.
And I am all of those things. In the past, I was the best damn referee Nickel City Wrestling's ever seen.
But nobody likes you.
I also became the greatest compound champion to date.
Nobody likes you, though.
And as for the future, well, I'm on injury at least. I'm proving to be the greatest manager Nickel City Wrestling has ever seen. So,
Talk your shit.
why don't I just come
Go
over
home.
here, step in this ring. Excuse me, champ. I'll come sit right next to you.
Damn, might as well just sit in his lap. Jesus.
How you doing, champ?
I don't know. Why are you here? I don't like you. Careful, you might like that.
That's all right, kid. Last time I was in this ring with you, I kicked you in the balls. Don't make me do it again.
But what I remember last time we were in the ring together, I beat both of you, actually.
All right, well, folks, I would love to say that this is your future to some of them. Well, him, I don't know. We're thinking about it, folks. All right. Hold tight. I'll tell you what we're going to do to start the second half of the show. By the way, can we find out where are we in that polling there? Stash or trash? What is trash? Let's talk about
It's gotta be trash. It's gotta be trash.
Trash.
70, what? Keep the trash? Keep it?
No, got it. Trash. It's trash.
See, he wants to keep it.
Trash.
I mean, this is nostalgic here, folks. Mark, with all due respect to the past, I apologize. It's just a thing. I don't know.
It's trash.
Keep the stash, the trash is over here.
70-30, well, those people that want to keep it, and I kind of like it, you know, come on, let's get some votes in there. All right. As many times you want, I guess you can. But you know what, listen, I have always been an announcer for the people. I am all about you guys. Not only am I an announcer, broadcaster, but I am, listen, I'm one of you. I am a fan. So whatever you need from me, you got it. I'm not the bruiser because I come out here and kick their butts. I'm the one that gets my butt kicked because I have to deal with guys like this all the time. And if I ask them a question that they don't want to answer, well, I feel I get on the broad end of it. So keep that in mind. I get the bruises, hence the name. So please keep that in mind, but vote for the stash. Go ahead, you can do that. Just carry on the phone. Okay. All right, so enough about that. Come on, let's get back here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be going around the table. We're going to show some various clips of their matches. They don't know what they're going to see up there, which match, but they're going to reminisce a little bit. Maybe point out a moment that you may have heard a little bit already, I don't know. But we're going to get things started. I'm going to kind of go along with this impromptu too. So we're going to see video up here on the NCW screen, the super flex screen. And well, let's get things started. So if you're ready in the back, let's see our first video and we'll comment from there.
Jesse, they're in the bar area. Joe, what's going on? They're going outside, Ivan. They're going outside, and my microphone can't reach that far.
Wait, I hear the audio, but I don't see the video.
I remember that. I remember that. That was great. Where's the match?
Okay. So is this a Bill Gates moment here? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Nobody watched it. It must have been a
Good?
Chippendales match.
It's not working. It's
Sam
not
Slade, how are we doing back there?
It's not working. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. So, give me wait, Junior, you're going to find out what's going on. Okay.
He's the young man tech. Let him go.
All right, I'm sorry. We're some technical. That's okay. That's why we're here.
That had to be something to do with what you did before you came out of there with all that stink.
I know. Pinky, what the heck? Now, you're all of a sudden the schlep rock here at NCW. You come out and all this goes down for the people. Come on.
Look, Daddy-O, I can't take all the credit for this horrible technical difficulties that happen every time we're here. Come on now.
We really need to hear this, folks. I'm sorry. Okay.
They're going outside, Ivan. They're going outside, and my microphone can't reach that far. But they're going outside. Jesse, they're going outside. Who has the advantage fighting on the streets of Buffalo? It's 0 degrees out, Ivan. I think it's going to have to go against Canada. Fighting in the streets of Canada, in the streets alone. Eddie Osborne will destroy them. Eddie Osborne lives in the snow. I'll let you know when they come back in, guys.
All right, well, I think that's a blessing. Ask Mr. Mark Mandrake your feuds with Eddie Osborne and tell us a little bit about this one.
Look at that hair. Where's your hair?
Well, first off, this was really cold.
You think?
Yeah.
Man on the moon, but we cannot make the white mic go outside and get reception. Damn the technology. Damn Bill Gates.
Yeah, the technology.
So talk about a little bit about Eddie Osborne and the stuff you've had with him in the past, and obviously this event.
Ladies and
Out
gentlemen,
of everybody that I've wrestled, Eddie Osborne probably is one of my favorite people to wrestle
it's
because
just an all-out.
we
this is a
just
all-out
we
brutality.
click
I
right
think
away.
both men are going at it.
Mick Foley said this once: the better friends you are with someone, the easier it is to hit them really, really hard, and that really
I think he
rings
just threw
true.
a snowball.
As much as
Let's hear it for him, first of all. That's what I'm talking about.
Eddie was a great guy. He was a great opponent, but he also was a great friend, and he was a great trainer as well. And we were very close friends, and that allowed us to really well on each other. We loved working each other. As a matter of fact, OSPW was built off of the feud between Eddie Osborne and myself, and I really wish I could have those days back. Sitting back on it, he definitely ranks up there with the top 3 favorite opponents I've ever wrestled. And I cannot speak highly enough of Eddie Osborne. The guy, I would not be here today in front of you guys if it wasn't for working with Eddie Osborne, and he got us up in Canada, and he is a part of my training was through him as well.
I recall actually, I think it was the Eldridge Club, if I remember the match with you, and I called one of them. So let's hear it for that one. That's what I'm talking about. The past to the past. Mr. Mark Mandrake and Eddie Osborne. Okay, look, what else do we got out there, guys?
see is the 6-inch gas on the back of my head, but I'm not quite sure where I'm at.
All right, so Shadow Cat, aside from the pain in the neck play-by-play announcer that was doing that, tell us about this. I mean, you were just mentioning about a big gash. What happened there in that event?
You're only as good as the person you're in the ring with. And so when the person's not where they're supposed to be, that can be the catastrophic ending of anything. At that point, I still have to this day a numb spot about 3 inches long in my shin area from where my leg hit the guardrail on that. But I had a 6-inch gash across the back of my skull that you couldn't see. It was bleeding because I had a red mask on until I got back. When they carried me to the back, I had realized that I had knocked out twice in the middle of the match, and then again when I sat on the floor in the back of the fire hall. But again, that just shows that the risks and the injuries are real. But that match continued until it was done, just for the record.
So did you actually suffer? Oh, see, okay.
That was the second time I knocked out my band.
So did you actually suffer a concussion when you were working through a concussion?
The problem was when I landed on the guardrail, the whole left leg went numb. And so I did that finishing move on him off of one leg, and just coming back and being knocked out in the middle of the match. But again, that shows our level of passion and how dedicated we are to each and every one of you out there. Is that even in situations like that, we don't quit.
Very good. Shadow Cat, folks. Remember in the past.
How long ago was that? You have way fewer tattoos on there.
I got a new tattoo the other day. You want to see it? I think that was 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. It's a bit ago.
Speaking of tattoos, by the way, folks, pizza is available for $2 a slice now. I don't know where that comes in, but I was told to say that. Okay, very good. No, you stay away from it, Pinky. So you better not. All right, let's roll that next clip, shall we? There, folks. Well, you alluded to it earlier with Ernest the Cat Miller, so tell us a little bit about that.
I believe this was our debut show at the Batavia Downs, if I don't. Second show? Whatever the case was. It was, we were at Batavia Downs and felt the crowd. I was wrestling J-Rock one-on-one for the NickelCityWrestling Championship, which turned into him getting disqualified when he had a different slave down at ringside and attacked me. That's when Ernest the Cat Miller came out. We made a tag match, still put the title on the line, and as you see, we walked up victorious. That was that time. I said it was one of my favorite moments where Cat looked at me and said what he said. So
works out perfect with the clip, folks. Here we go. All right, we have another one back there, guys.
The blue coat will make everyone happy. This hardcore matchup is how hardcore can you get when you don't get a referee in here? Let's go nuts! Why not?
to embellish this a little bit, it looks like there. Danny Magic, Papa Terry Canada, Nick here, look at up here. There you go, that just looks beautiful. All right, feed us in on that one, yeah.
Thank you, Terry. Not once, twice. I was stupid enough to do it again. Because I love this. All I remember, I did that a bunch of times. We used to do like practice, like, you know, when we were training. I don't know why, that one day, I put my arm down a different way. I don't even know why. And I laugh about it now. I've got two rods, a bunch of pins, and like a bracelet in my wrist. It's all metal from breaking that 2 times. But I remember the first time when I landed, I looked at my wrist and it was like, I don't know if you can see this, it was like bent to the left. And I just remember looking at it, it didn't hurt, and I just went, that don't look normal. I just leaned over and pinned him, and I think I won the belt in one of those.
Yeah.
And I just pinned him. And I remember when I went back to the locker room, anytime you do something stupid or you get hurt and it's not that serious, the boys will pick on you and they'll tease you. And I remember Tiger Smith came up to me, who would have joked with me all around and made fun of me. And when the doctor was looking at me, he looked at my wrist and he went, ugh. And I knew it was messed up when he did that. So that's why I say that, because I just remember when he looked at it and said that, I was like, yeah, I'm hurt. And when I went to the doctor, I had to get surgery. And then I did it again. And I'm like, it's not broke, it's just bruised, because I heard it before. I went back to the hospital and they said, yeah, you broke it again. So, but I had many injuries before. Mark was talking about injuries. I've worked through injuries before. Like, it's wrestling, we get hurt, it happens. But like, I've had 3 broken ribs. I got a picture out there somewhere with all the injuries I've had. Broken orbital bone, broken ribs, and I've wrestled with them, and I've heard them crack while I've been wrestling. And like Mark said, we just want to keep giving you our all because we love this, and it's what we do, and we know injuries are part of it. And I'll never forget that. And I've been injured elsewhere. I've been injured in Canada. I've been injured in other states. I don't know where the hell I've been.
You're just a broken man, aren't you?
No. No, I'm not broken. I'm improved. I'm rebuilt.
I hope Heather agrees with that too, right?
Absolutely.
Very good. There we go, Danny Magic, one of his shinier moments. All right, let's go. Roll the next one. Mentioned Tiger Smith. I know you were part of that in the past. Oh, you're not done. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
How much shit we been through? For those of you that don't know, over the last several months, even a year, we've been trying to get the Red Agency the hell out of here. Started with the Nazi Mafia, then fighting every night, and now the landlord. Benny, I'm sorry, but something got to rematch. I'll follow the rematch, guys. Stay with the hit. I just want to know. This is weed stuff.
Really? How much you pay production to slide that clip in there? Really?
I did this shit on my own. Shut your mouth. I said shut it.
Oh, God, don't be those way.
I did this. You didn't even win anything. This is my rematch and it's over to me. What are you doing?
Not one, but two.
Oh, wait a minute here. Okay, I apologize for interrupting that, but before we get to that, I'll have both of you comment on that. What up with that?
What was your first question?
Oh, don't worry about that one now. No. We're not going to talk about him yet, but tell us about it.
What up with that is every time I've got my head turned for the last 15 years, my brother was right there with the flat of his foot.
At least I was right there for you. I was there for you. That's what mattered.
Hence the tension, just saying.
Okay. This time, and I'm gonna just shoot. I'm not gonna direct this. We were looking for a dominant heel, and I think the angle that we worked at this point was needed because we were at that brother situation. You know, brother love, brother this, brother that, and as you heard the reaction, they didn't expect me to kick him. And I think it was A, good for business, I think, and B, it humbled his little bitch ass. So,
Okay.
just a little bit.
A past is past, though. That's
Right.
Yes.
Well, past was August 26th at our last live event. Just saying.
I didn't kick you.
But you tried.
You thought about it.
You tried to though. It repeats.
Oh, okay, well, without getting more into it, how about we move on to the next clip? Do we have another one there? Oh, thank you. Oh, this must be the fallout.
We're going to leave the discussion on this being around the time of COVID, and we couldn't do live shows.
Is that what you agree?
This young man don't like it. That's right.
So when COVID happened and everything had to shut down, we still had to entertain our fans.
Son of a bitch.
I was gonna say, like, this clip is probably like
Oh shit, no.
2.5 minutes long, but that's just half an hour.
Nothing wrong with arranging a little furniture. That's okay. So you're telling me you two became stronger because of this?
I think Nickel City became stronger because of this.
What do you got there? Oh, picture he likes to use. Oh, that's the piece of shit.
I do use an 8x10 as soldier to as a dustpan, and he hates me for it. So I figured it through that.
Now he'll think of any kind of thing now.
Shadow Kid, you were literally a pain in the ass. Wait, hold on, watch out.
Literally.
one thing that I've said over and over again, folks, you never mess up Russo's executive office. I don't care what happens.
That was a referee.
No, face-to-face. My special testifier. And that ladder was super tall.
So basically, Soldier held the company stronghold for a while, as you've seen, you know, with the face kick and the title wins and all that stuff. But during COVID, when COVID first happened, we decided that, no, we weren't the best at putting out a TV product, but we had to give the fans something during that time to keep them entertained. And so we expended all resources. I mean, that was, 40-minute match. And it was like an Iron Man match sort of thing. And I think
We beat the shit out of each other for 45. Yeah, but they left out the baptism spot. That's not a shoot.
Folks, that's NCW right there. Let's hear it for both of them. Wow. That's pretty awesome.
I was stuck with that dude for almost a week. We couldn't be around anybody because of the COVID situation. You couldn't interact with certain people, and we pretty much had to live together for a week to make that happen.
Worked out well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. All righty. We got another one, sir? All right. We got another one. Oh, God. That headband is cute. So as this is playing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just bring your attention. This was the last hardcore match that OSPW ever put on with yours truly there, Danny Magic, and a friend of all of ours, Trip. So we'll watch this till this plays out. That's a face a mother can only love, folks. There we go, Danny Magic. All right, tell us a little bit about that. Again, it was hardcore rules. We all know Trip, and even you guys went back and forth in the day.
I was telling Mark and Danielle this earlier when we got here, just so you guys know for the future. I've forgotten more than I've remembered. So, I don't remember that match that well, to be honest with you. And I hate the fact that you showed Trip kicking my ass more than me kicking his. But we did some violent stuff to each other in some of our matches, and I do respect Trip. He was always a pro with me in the ring as far as that goes. He was always aware, and I'm proud of the matches and feuds I had with him, because he was one of those guys. Every now and then in the business, there's guys you get in a ring with, and you're just on the same wavelength. And I knew where he was going to go. He knew where I was going to go, even when we didn't plan anything or talk about anything. And that match, I think from what I do recall, we kind of knew, my infamous fireball that I love. I would throw that in anyone's face for the fun of it.
Very good.
That's the heel in me, I'm
Excellent.
sorry. But
Yeah.
I think we knew we were bringing weapons tonight.
Yeah.
And I knew if he was going to do something or I was going to do something, we were going to do something the fans loved. And we put it all out there. And I recall that match, but I don't really remember it that well, but I was proud of it. Very proud of it.
Very good. I just want to take this time, even because I mentioned the hardcore match, that was the last one. There was a gentleman that we all, or I think most of us know here at OSPW, that I did want to take a moment to acknowledge. He is no longer with us, but when we're talking hardcore, I want to take this time and give our blessings to Mr. Mike McGee, if you recall Mike. He unfortunately surmised some injuries that he had with him. I remember a match that he had with Tripp that, we miss him dearly. We had some incredible interviews, he and I, back in the day, but I just wanted to bring that up, so I beg your indulgence, please. All right, let us take a look at that next clip.
This real, but this time it was.
That's cool. Let's hear it for him, folks. Wow. I gotta ask you. That's, oh my goodness.
There's that belt that I was talking about earlier. It was his birthday.
Wow.
Why y'all gotta show me crying on camera though?
So let me ask Shadow Jr. I mean, obviously, that at that time when you saw just that idea, just getting in the ring, Dad's there, championship, you're able to hand it to him. Let us know what was going through your mind at that time.
I was actually just sitting aside for this match to begin with. I've always been there watching matches, and always front row. And at the end of that match, when I heard their music play, good old Uncle Soldier over there called me to the curtain to make me hand them titles. And that moment in itself was something just unimaginable, was handing your dad a brand new title that he hadn't won yet because it was a new belt that we were debuting. And then me getting mine afterwards was just like, wow, maybe this is something I can do for a living. See, that's what he did. I was like, I was a setup. I was like, where did your dad go? I was to the back and gapped his belt that we got made for him, so he didn't recognize what was going on either. So it was pretty much like a all-around thing.
That's what an awesome moment in time. Thank you, guys. Wait, really quick before we go to the next clip. That's like the new Jack out of you, all of a sudden jumping from the balcony.
Balcony dive. Apparently, I was watching Mark Mandrake for a few years before I got into this stuff, and things got a little loose up here, you know. So, but again, there's not other times that within a match, something gets so real, and to be able to keep that separation from the fans, there was true animosity going on there during that match. And although things got a little bit rough and a little bit out of what it was supposed to, we maintained professionalism, got through it, and at the end of the day, we were able to celebrate the kid's birthday, and that was the first time that the show had actually fell on his birthday. So we came up with a plan between this guy and myself, and we created him a title, and it's got him with my mask, his baby picture with my mask on his face, engraved into the title, and so that was his birthday gift for that year.
That's awesome. Let's hear it one more time, folks.
See how I feel about that, right? You yelled at me, though.
How are we doing there? We got any more clips? Just want to make sure. Let's say? We have 2 left here. Okay, go ahead. Let's roll the next one.
Roll that beautiful beat footage. There we go.
The feud continues. Wait a minute, who's that ugly guy?
Right there, I got it.
Now the Bruiser went mobile, I think. Here, right? Yeah. Everyone's shopping. How about it, folks? Mark Vandrake's Ferrari there. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. This is the part I remember.
Did you witness a murder? Is that what that was? Did you murder him? Did you murder him? Of course.
Well, we don't get into that language, but who was that menacing character that just came there?
All right, well, first off, if you guys seen that spot off the second turnbuckle, after that, and that was fairly early on in the match, I got a concussion. I really, to be honest, watching this is the first time I'm seeing it.
Seems to be a trend now, folks. People forgetting how to turn concussions.
I mean, I have seen video of this, so that was Flatline, who Flatline and I feuded up in Canada, down here. There was a spot in Eldridge in North Tonawanda where we went up to the scoreboard and did a swanton, hooking me through a table. And at that point, I'm like, enough. And no, he wanted to continue. I mean, no offense to Flatline, because he's a good, he really was a good kid. He's a super nice guy, but he's an example of, someone mentioned backyard wrestling before, and I hate saying this. You could take the kid out of the backyard, but you can't take the backyard out of the kid. And Flatline's a great example of that. He was fun to work, but he, at times, was dangerous. And that's Flatline. He's a good kid, but Eddie Osborne, as you've seen, like I said, he was fun to work. The concussion was an accident. It happened. Shadow Cat mentioned about getting injured as well. And again, we don't plan for them. We don't want them to happen. But you continue on. There was supposed to be a spot where we were supposed to have like 3 stacks of chairs and win in like a pyramid. And he was going to suplex me off the top turnbuckle, threw them on the floor. The chairs were going to be stacked on the floor, and there was just no way it was going to happen. But the only reason that match went on for like another 10 minutes was because of Eddie Osborne. I was out of it, and actually my father stepped in the ring, and he looked right at me, and he goes, because we were trying to incorporate something storyline-wise with Tommy Mandrake, my storyline brother, and he looked at me, and he goes, "You have no idea where you are right now, do you?" And I'm like, nope. And so, yeah, a lot of this, I really don't remember. It was fun, I'm assuming.
I was there, I called that match, and I can remember it was one of the wildest times in an OSPW thing. So, Mark, thank you for that. Let's hear it for Mark Mandrake again. Now, by the way, we have a couple more clips to go, but I was told the voting is now 65-35 for Shave. So the folks are coming back with the mustache, so let's keep that going. All right. They're trying. All right, here we go. Next clip.
Set your stopwatches now, folks. 30 seconds from right now. Welcome to NCW there, Cody.
I don't know how much more I really need to watch.
Yeah, do you have any offense? What's going on here?
No, that was it. That was my debut.
There you go.
In Nickel City Wrestling.
That's it. So going into that match, and obviously what's going on there, I mean, what's going through your mind? Obviously you wanted to do something, but you were on the short end of the stick most of that match there, yeah?
So, I've done a lot of training to get to that point, excited, and I did all the stuff that as you train to become a pro wrestler, you get to do. I made the theme song, I got the gear, I got to make the entrance through the curtain. So I was in that. Then get eliminated 30 seconds later. Yeah, so I was in that mind state of the excitement. I had a bunch of my friends come, so excited, and it didn't at all go the way I anticipated. But a lot of things happened, because of that, because of how quickly I was eliminated. I realized that I couldn't do it alone. I made some decisions. I joined the Crimson Mask and worked with Ace Gervais for a while until I saw, kind of how that went. And I've continued with my training to work alongside Shadow Cat, and nobody can be an island in this business. And
That clip, that first 30 seconds of my career taught me that. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that I've worked really hard to get to that. Had about 25 of my closest friends and family show up, and not quite sure what I brought them there for. So I had a long kind of thought with myself, like, man, I'm not sure I want to do this. Like, that was embarrassing. But I sat with myself, and I had a long, deep thought with my, self-reflection, and said, that's not how I want to be, the one view of me in professional wrestling to be. So I doubled down on my training and said, no, that's not going to be it. And so that's, about a year and a half ago now, and a lot of other things have come my way because I kept going.
So now you became the new fan favorite.
Well, that's what that does for me. It reminds me that, couldn't make a much worse debut, and if I can keep going through that, then I can definitely keep persevering through anything in this business.
That's motivation, folks. That's Cody.
Now, that was an embarrassing sight. But there's one thing that was even more embarrassing about that match, and that was my entrance in the match. I lasted about 5 seconds in the ring. I got chased out by the referees. They didn't even get my damn theme song right. But
and that's why we didn't show the video now, was it?
That's right. You weren't bugged.
I think there's collusion here. There should be a Pinky Chippendales video up there. I see another one of him. I see the second one of him. There's been 10 of both of these guys here. What does it take to get a Pinky Chippendales match up on the screen, Daddy-O?
Go home. You said it in that match, but you could have stopped that. I lasted 5 seconds, and we would have got it.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to roll the next clip. Yeah, go ahead.
You know exactly what it is.
Let's get one. Where's the throw? Is Russo
Wait a minute. What are you doing resorting to those tactics?
All right, so there's a little backstory behind that. It wasn't necessarily going towards tactics. It was switching my role.
It was all part of the plan. The chain is finally forming, and we're in control.
So with that, I've always been the babyface aspect of professional wrestling. And I finally got the chance to change that role.
You hooked up with Sam Slater Russo there. Now, what's that all about?
They were kind of part of the plan, all of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was prompted by Russo to change what I've learned, and that was from being a babyface to becoming hated by everybody. And with the feeling of being hated, I kind of wanted to change it. And so with Nick Russo, who threw the chain and prompted it, and Sam Slade was there with the efforts of the chain, and already formed before then was the Latin Soldier and Shadowcat. And they were all in control, and I felt like I needed a spot there. Still are. So we're in control now.
Oh, okay. We'll get into the
It's a very
control.
dysfunctional
I
We're
guess
not
so.
functional.
But a family nonetheless, folks. Let's keep that in mind. All right. So, were there any more?
No. That's it.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it for all of them, folks. All the clips. Pretty awesome stuff. So, I want to throw something out. I know we're going to get to another portion of the show here in a minute, but you guys were talking about injuries. Okay? It happens day in and day out to professional wrestlers. And, we hear some of the, what do you want to call, haters or whatever out there talking about the business as FAKE. So wait a minute. Now, we gotta bring it up here, because obviously, folks, this isn't that F word. So let's go around the table really quick, and let's start with this man first. Mark Mandrake, who, well, is the foremost, probably the proponent of, or I should say, against that word and why it should be taken out of the lexicon of pro wrestling.
Nothing you've seen me do in or out of this ring has ever been fake. Determined? Maybe. And the reason why I say maybe is because there have been one or two matches where I was told someone was winning and then informed halfway through the match, the promoter changed their mind. But everything that happens is real. It's just what extent to real it is. If you look at the scars that I have on my arms, on my back, on my chest and stomach, on my head, I've seen a couple things with barbed wire. The joke with me was barbed wire tickles, you know, because, well, but scars are all real. The injuries are all real. There's certain things, you know, yeah, my hip and my knee were from ice hockey. My ankles shot because of wrestling. My shoulders shot because of wrestling. My neck is shot because of wrestling. And I could go on. I don't regret it. I love everything that I've done about it. But it is very real. There's no way to fake going through a table. There's no way to fake getting hit with a chair. There's no way. If you see that barbed wire stick into someone, there's no way to fake that. I think I've seen a clip with thumbtacks. There's no faking that. That gets stuck in you. Not saying that you know, that bothers us doing it. We actually, to some extent, maybe there is something wrong with us, because at least with me, I enjoy it. I love it. I mean, I've been in matches with light tubes. I've been in matches with, you know, whole bunch of nasty stuff, you know, painted glass, things like that. You don't fake that stuff. And I've always, even if my body was telling me no, the fans were still telling me yes, because I was told my whole life I would never get a chance to do this. And, you know.
Mark hit me with a cookie sheet once that someone handed to him from the audience.
Oh, yeah.
And you think those would like bend and
No.
flimsy. It hurt. I remember it to this day.
No, and I mean, whenever I hit someone, I made sure you felt it, you know, because I wanted that back. You know, so for you younger kids, whenever you are in this ring with someone, you take care of them, you make sure they're safe, but you want to make sure you feel everything, because in a way, it is a fight, you know, and you want, I went over that back there, and I'm letting you guys know this because I can't do this anymore. I'm old, I'm damaged. He can't do this anymore. You're lucky.
We'll get to that.
You're lucky with Lou and Kat that you guys have those guys that have experience to help you guys. But definitely listen to this.
I ain't gonna be in there much longer.
Yeah, well, you know.
You can.
Because you guys are the future, and please, for you guys, this is the future of what we're doing. Support them. Support them in what they do, because without you, those two kids, well, those three, I don't know how long you've been in the business, and so.
Don't worry about him. He sucks.
Okay.
Almost 2 years. Too long. Don't worry about him.
But regardless, these younger guys, they wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you. And I'm going to thank you because of how much I've sacrificed for this business, and I'm sure.
And we don't forget.
They would. Yeah.
And you know, I didn't want to cut you off, Mark.
No, go for it. It's cool.
Guys that have been doing it long, girls that have been doing it a long time, and you support, come to local shows, support, because we see our friends, they've been on TV, come and gone, they're on there now, friends of ours, and they started just like this. They were here with us, doing stuff like this, and we're so proud of them, and that's gonna be this future right here, sitting here. That's gonna be you guys. When you said that was the worst debut ever, No, you got to live your dream. And there's a lot of people that don't get to live that. Live that damn dream. We lived it, we're living it now, and we get to keep it forever, injuries and all.
Usually because you put in the work, and I'm operating capable, I don't care. You put in the work, that's why that worst debut is behind you, and you're looking at brighter days. You know what I mean? And that goes the same for you. You know, when you make your debut, it may not be what you want it to be, but you're living that out. Don't give it up. You know, Pinky, I'm sure you have the debut is different. But again, you put it behind him when you made his best effort. So that's really it. You put in that work, man. If you put in that work, you're good.
Yeah, I agree with that, Soldier. I mean, you can start at one point and just know that you can keep improving and you can keep going, and there's always, you know, like you said, there's always that hope that there's something better and that you can strive for that goal. So that's the great thing about this, and it's almost like life, you know. We keep talking about Mick Foley, and he said the real world is faker than wrestling. You know, you're gonna meet a whole bunch of people in the real world that are way faker than any of these people that we have that brotherhood and that sisterhood with.
Ferrari, I want to expand a little bit on that, talking about pain and hurting. You, my dear, had a TNA match with one Awesome Kong, if you recall. Please just give us a brief over on that, because I want to make sure that we're talking about pain and injury and how it felt.
That was 15 years ago.
It was supposed to be Mark Mandrake versus Awesome.
No, yeah, it was 15 years ago, and I still, it's one of those moments that I remember everything that happened, you know. I'm eternally grateful that I got that opportunity, and that was, we had just moved down to Florida the year before and just started wrestling shows, and, you know, that TNA had that opportunity, and some of our friends that we had wrestled with called me up and said, "What are you doing?" Nothing. Yeah, where do you need me? You know? She is one of the most intimidating people to look at, and one of the sweetest, kindest people I have ever met in my entire life. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you guys go and find that clip, I get beat up. I was bruised. It hurt.
Her debut was worse than yours.
Oh yeah. I got one little slap in and little bit of this, and otherwise got thrown around like a rag doll. But it was one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to do. I think I'm almost completely unrecognizable because I walked in like I normally do, no makeup, no nothing, and the makeup girls go, "Oh, come here." 2 hours later, after being in the makeup chair from somebody who does not do that.
Well, there is a funny part. There is a little bit of a funny part of that story too, because being in Florida, we wrestled all over the place. So even though they had dolled her up and she, you know, definitely looked different, she's sitting next to me, and I'm not. There's no makeup on me at all. So they recognize me, and then they closer look, they recognize her. So it totally ruined the whole, oh, Kong's gonna beat someone up out of the audience. No, they're wrestlers. They're not just fans that are, you know. So that was the downside to it for Impact, but it was an awesome.
Yeah, it was. It's funny because we really had only worked a couple of shows in Florida, but we already, all of those fans that went to TNA at that time knew exactly who we were. And so when they were like, "We're gonna pick somebody from the crowd," everybody goes, "Her!" And I'm like, haha, just a fan. But no, it was definitely, it's super cool. And honestly, I mean, as somebody who's run shows and helped Mark run shows and helped Alpha and WXW run shows, and watching the way that they were running the show at that time, certain people should have been running that show and certain people shouldn't have, and I'm not going to name names, but Terry Taylor is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And he took me around backstage and told me who not to talk to and who was okay to talk to, and
Terry's
you know,
a good dude.
he's an awesome dude.
A
So
funny story, I gave him itching powder because he wanted to put it in Virgil's tights. And, during Virgil's match, he was going crazy itching himself. It was hilarious. Sorry.
no, that's all right. But yeah, no, it was an awesome opportunity, and I get asked about it sometimes. So it's yeah.
Terry Taylor, for those that don't know, I don't know if anyone remember the Red Rooster, that little gimmick back in the day. That's what they're talking about. Now, before we get to the rest of all of you and talking about that topic, but just so you know, you folks know they do this because they love it. There is a passion there. There is a reason they do it, because you guys are the ones that pay the money to see them, and by just doing that, they do it all for you. Please keep that in mind and keep supporting independent wrestling, will you please? Now, before we continue on, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Shadowcat, because we want to talk about this amazing facility, the school that you can come to if the dream is still alive, right here at the NCW Superplex. Okay, there you go. I'm good.
We've been doing this a little while, Joey.
That's right. I think you have an idea.
Superplex. Where do I begin? Hiccup after hiccup. We started in a grungy, dirty warehouse on Military Road behind a tire shop about somewhere around 2012. Started teaching then, but again, got into the business with a couple different partners at that point. The school existed then. Then I did away with it. I decided there was enough wrestling teachings going on that I didn't have to do it. And again, parties involved, I felt like I didn't have the support system that we currently have. So when did we open the school? The first one.
I want to say 2012.
So when Soldier came on board and we started building, there was a grungy warehouse, a big giant warehouse. It was an awesome space, but it didn't have sprinkler systems. So at the time we signed the lease to this place, we're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna do shows here, set it all up, and then realize there's no sprinkler system. It's gonna cost us $40,000 to do it.
That was
2019, before COVID. So we ran our TV tapings and such through COVID. I believe that's when Pinky first came into the play. And so he was around to see that.
because he was here before. Yep, I was.
Just Joe, you're fine. So to make that matters worse, that building flooded out on us. We lost $15,000 in stuff. So as again, if we didn't have enough of a deterrent to close it up and just be done, at the end of 15 years wrestling, that would have been plenty. But we bled for punishment around here, and
I've had to talk him off the ledge so many times about that. It's just like this and that. There's always going to be hiccups. There's always going to be bumps in the road when it comes down to stuff like this, you know. And we're too strong of a team and a company to just let it float away, so to speak, because of the flood. But I was determined not to have that happen. He was just like, all right, fine.
I was like, yeah, whatever, until I realized that we had a couple guys that deserved our knowledge.
For sure.
There was a couple of guys that worked their ass off, Pink being one of them, Junior being another one. There's a few more that aren't here. But we made sacrifices. You go into the tattoo shop fund, you know, my daily income, and we put it together and we figured a way that we were going to do it again. So we were like, we only have a minute to change this. So we took on another facility, this one a lot smaller, way more expensive, for a year. And we used that as a transition into the compound, which was at the smaller space here in the mall. And it evolved into the Superplex, which you see today. But it wouldn't have happened if he didn't talk me off the ledge 1,000 times, and him, for sure.
Can you tell folks how they can get involved if they ever want to, you know, again, make their dream come alive?
We're part of a team, so you can ask any one of these kids that same question and let them handle it. I'm confident enough that we've taught them enough for them to carry that question.
But if anybody wants to become pro wrestler that's in-house right now. There's a sign-up sheet out there, so go ahead, feel free to sign up, we'll take you in.
As well as let your friends know, just email ncwbuffalo@gmail.com and we can accept your applications.
What's the age start at?
Very good.
What's that?
16 and up.
Starting
16 and up, 18 to have their first official match, which is why Junior and I have been traveling lately.
Might not cool enough, everybody? No, it's not.
Enjoy, buddy.
It's always got these sidebar conversations going on.
All right, so first of all, let's thank the folks here at NCW and for the super folks here. So a couple more things of business to take care of. I found out that I have to bring this here with over 1,100 votes.
Trash.
1,100 votes. I know who the heck cares, but there are trolls, so I guess they do because yes, the Bruiser may have to, and I will, trash the stash, folks. So here we go. That's right, here. It's okay. So whoever wants to get involved, we're gonna do this here. So if you're ready, we hit someone who.
Trash the stash. Trash the
Can we get some
stash.
mustache
Trash the
wrestling?
stash. Trash.
All right. Well, thank you for your support, son. I know, but we're gonna put it right on here. Let's hear it out here. Get it done, right?
Trash it. What do you mean you voted 150 times?
How's it looking?
I'm back. I thought we only said once. Hey, Daddy, I was still electable as many times as I wanted to.
Joey, I'm pretty sure.
Are we
It's
good?
Pinky's fault.
Can we
Keep
go with
going.
this? How about
Keep
we do
going.
half and half?
No.
How about that? Can we do that?
Trash the stash, Daddy-o.
It's all going
I'm sorry. All right, here we go.
You did this?
Oh,
You voted 150 times?
wow.
151 to be exact.
It's Pinky's
I
fault.
can't bear witness to
It's
this.
Pinky's
He
fault,
called,
guys.
you know how many of my matches he's called with that mustache? I don't want to see this.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, are we all right? No.
Where's he
No.
going?
Well, I'll tell you
Where's
what.
he going?
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make something extra special here.
Shadowcat has left the broadcast table, as well as Mark Mandrake.
All right, here, I'm gonna do something special here. Who of you actually have a Joey the Bruiser Tenebruso collector card? Who has one? All right, why don't you come up here for a minute, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You see, right now, the value of that card, probably in about 10 years, is gonna be worth a free bowl of soup, if you ask me, so that's okay. But you know what? I'm gonna improve the value of that card. Because not only are you gonna be able to get a free bowl of soup, but we're gonna get you a free sandwich out of it. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, here we go. I have in front of me some of these stash clippings, if you will. Now we all watching this. I got the tape here. There we go. And we are gonna take some of this here, and we're just gonna give it a little dippity-doo. And right there. And we're gonna put it right on the card. And there it is, folks. Take a look. Right there. Bruiser mustache savings. Who needs more of this? Come on up here. Let's give him a nice hand. Give it to that gentleman right there. Give him a nice round of applause. That's right. I wanna.
Hey, you might want to put that in the trash.
I'm talking. Look at that. Collector's item. I'll take care of you guys right after. So, before we leave,
Joey,
how about
we're
you?
trying to
my collection.
We're trying to sell the cards,
I
not
know,
have
I
them go in
know.
the trash.
But, I devalued the card.
Yes.
I see. Well, that's why there's the plastic coating on it. They can rip it right off themselves. So is that, what's the matter? That's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
All right, geez, goodness gracious. We're gonna do some audience question and answer right now. Mr. Sam Slade is gonna go around with the mic, so put your hand up if you have a question for anyone here on the panel, and they'll be more than happy to oblige. So let's see some questions out there.
We got some questions.
Anything.
Maybe.
Where are we at? Who's this
All right.
gentleman right here? All right, go ahead.
There's someone up there who hasn't said anything. I'd like to hear from Buddy the Lemur.
Oh,
Buddy might be be a little too inebriated to answer a question, but if you have a specific question.
For those that don't know who Buddy is, he's just been on the road with Danielle and Mark for years, and he has to be there. That's all you need to know. It's one of those things. Buddy has to be there.
Tail, yeah. Everyone loves the tail. He is on Facebook, Buddy Leamer, if you guys want to go check him out. But yeah, he doesn't really speak much, so.
He's more of a paper.
But yeah, if anybody has a specific question, I'm sure I can give an answer for it.
All right, who else? Raise your hand, don't be shy. Everything's open to the public. You got one over here?
Give me some questions, guys.
Who's got one? Right back here, Sam.
I'm too big.
All right.
Steve.
Sam will get his workout in today, so this will be fine, right?
Aren't you supposed to be the question guy, Scott?
So the wrestling is
Listen, here you go. Go ahead.
So the wrestling is legitimate, but who comes up with the story arcs, or how does it get favored? Who gets paired with who becomes friends with who? Are there writers that set things in motion, or is it all natural wrestling versus wrestling?
Like to take care of that.
I mean, it's a culmination of efforts from a lot of different people. Everything from story to defining somebody's character, to helping them develop their own character, because I don't care what anybody says, the best character anybody will be is an over-accentuation of themselves. And so our job isn't to write it for them, it's to bring it out of them.
I'm always speaking this a little bit differently, because again, depending on the area and depending on who's running it, like it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's right or wrong, because I guarantee you run things differently than I do. I run things differently than Alpha the Wild Samoan does. I worked very closely with Alpha the Wild Samoan for years. I was his right-hand man. I was the guy that would call WWE when they need somebody and send somebody to WWE or AEW or TNA Impact. I would come up with storylines. I would decide, or be one of the ones to decide who was winning or losing. What would happen in the matches as far as what they were allowed to do. And sometimes we actually had to go right down and for some of the younger kids and write pretty much out how the match was going to go step by step if they were younger. So as far as who it's up to, depends on the wrestling promotion. Sometimes it's just up to one or two people, you know. I can say with WXW, there was a team of sometimes 5 or 6 of us. At the end of the day, though, with Alpha the Wild Samoan's promotion, WXW, Alpha the Wild Samoan was the one that decided if it went. So even if we came up with an idea and we spent months coming up with an idea and getting everything in place and writing it all out, and he said no, well, that meant that no is no. You're not going to argue with the 300-pound Samoan. Just ain't going to happen. You will lose. Especially when that guy is a Hall of Famer and a legend. I know with NickelCityWrestling, which is the wrestling promotion that for Florida, at the end of the day, I run it very similar. I have that comes up with that stuff. I come up with it as well. I come up with a lot of the finishes. I decide who wins. And as far as who's going to win, honestly, it depends on... If I see somebody that I know is going to put asses in seats and make money, it's in my best interest to create something that you're going to be invested in, that you're going to believe, that you're going to want to see. Just taking your favorite wrestler and having them win every time is bad business. It's bad business. So I would make it so I was in charge of that at the end of the day. You know, and I'm sure, you know, Shadowcat, you know, he has his own ideas, and at the end of the day, we're all right, you know, we're right for whatever product we're running, or is it you?
It's me, yeah.
Oh, okay, well.
To answer your question, in Nickel City, there's a team of 4 of us here that do the determination of when shows are, where the shows are going to be, children. So.
If I can add a little bit on, they give us direction, but I think one of the strengths as a student of Nickel City, one of the strengths of this company is that so much of the work we do in training and learning is developing character and developing the ability to tell a story, both long-term storytelling across shows, but also within a match. So while they will come to us and tell us kind of the direction they want us to head, a lot of our training is about how we're developing the ability to tell a story throughout a match. So even as a trainee, even as a young wrestler, we are given some ways of developing what exactly goes into a match, because that's part of our training. I think that's a real strength of what we do here at Nickel City.
So we don't try to like control people like things. So like we try to give people their own like mind freedom, like their own way of thinking, their own way of developing what they want to do, who they want to do it with, and it's up to us to go, yeah, no, or sounds like a great idea, you know, and then go from there. Maybe we can build off of this, and then you know, stories get started developing that way. So I'm sorry if I'm speaking for you, but I feel that I think if once we give our talents that control of who they are and how they're going to express it to our audience is how I think is the difference between us and like other people. You know what I mean? Because I think that it's important that they need to learn and independently do it themselves when they go to other places as opposed to just being here in Nickel City Wrestling. I want to say, yeah, I mean, you're developing a character about a place that, you know, it's not just the home base, it's when you're going, like, hey, are you going to leave Nickel City, you're going to go to Rochester, you're going to go to, like, Syracuse, you're going to go to Binghamton, you're going to go to, like, Erie, Pennsylvania, you're going to hit up all these places. I want to make sure that, or Canada, right, I want to make sure that character is being taken with them, and it's respected in that manner. If that makes sense.
I just want to say something. Who asked that question? I know we've all like said something.
It's hard to see out there. It's hard to see.
Thank you. That's a really cool question. But something that wasn't addressed is, okay, storylines, who writes them, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes the fans write them. And I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. I was a tag team champion in Empire State Wrestling. My partner was, okay, I'm going to say.
Where?
You. For those who don't know, I'm the guy that started Empire State Wrestling. For those that you don't know that, I'm the guy that started it. It was mine. I created it. And then a guy offered me a lot of money for it, and I took it and ran. There's the story, now you know. All right, anyway.
And I catch a DJing every Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, my career went down a different road, and I've been blessed. But anyway, a friend of mine, he was into stand-up comedy, became a wrestler, and this is a good way to know about wrestling when it comes to wrestling fans. I say stand-up comedy because stand-up comedy audiences are the same as wrestling fans. If you're ugly, the audience is going to let you know it. If you're truthfully fat, the audience is going to let you know it. If you're skinny, the audience is going to let you know it. Look in the mirror, future guys, look in the mirror. Know who you are, know what you are, and play it to the T, because you never know. When I was with Tag Team Champion, I was skinny, my partner was fat, and we had a skinnier guy for a manager. And after our second match, I think it was, I wore a yellow and blue singlet. So I was yellow, my partner was like peach color or something. So they started calling us SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and we heard it. And you know what? We said, let's run with it, man. They're loving it. And the fans wrote that storyline, and we ran with it. And we were heels, so it made it even better. So don't forget, you guys can write the storylines too. But like you said, when you go elsewhere, you know, like I might just meet Mark and Danielle that day, and I know she's got Buddy with her, and I'm gonna say, can I steal it? Part of the match, you know, that's how we come up with stuff. You know, you just gotta get creative, man. It's the art of the business. We create our own stuff, and we go to
writer or the booker, if we ask if we can do it, and if they say no, be professional. If they say no, you gotta listen. That's about it.
So the bottom line is, you guys participate more than you think.
Yep.
That's why we want your cheers, you want your boos or whatever, but just make your voice heard. They listen, and they will provide you with the entertainment and the athleticism that you want. Thank you. All right. Now, is there any more questions? Anyone else?
Why didn't you finish shaving your mustache?
I don't know. I can't see a damn thing.
Hey, why don't you go help him out with that?
Hey, go help them.
Are there any more final questions? I just want to make sure. Who's got one?
He's trying to get.
Sam, you have one?
No, that's fine.
How about you? What about this young man here? What does he want to say? This young man here, he said, no. Is that it? Okay. So, let me say this then. I want to thank all of you here at the NCW, the Superplex here, for joining us. I want to thank each and every one of the folks in the back, Matt Amato, who actually helped produce the show. And let me go around. Let's first say our special thank yous. Is Matt back there? Where's Matt Amato? Matt, here he is. Let's give him a chance. Thank you, Matt. How about a nice hand for Shadow Jr. here, folks? Come and see him. When he's ready. Kodiak with us. Thank you, Kodiak. Piggy Chippendale. Shadow character for the high five like that. The Latin Soldier with us, continuing on. Danny Magic, welcome back, Danny Magic. Hey, by the way, do you have one more match in, you think? What do you think, folks?
He's blowing up the story time. What do you think?
Yeah.
What did you say? Do I have one more match?
One more match.
I don't know, those three things in front of me look really good right now.
Okay, all right, very good.
I don't see cookies anywhere.
How about Ferrari? Let's give it up for Ferrari, first lady of the Western New York independent wrestling scene. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Mark Mandrake. Again, I want to thank all of you for joining us, all the folks that viewed us on YouTube, and hope you all had a good time. Educated, learned. Let's give yourselves a nice hand to all our panelists.